Imagine being born only to be swallowed alive by your own father, not because he was hungry, but because he was afraid that one day you would take everything from him. This is the dark and terrifying story of Cronus, the god who devoured his own children. Long before the Olympian gods ruled the skies, there were the Titans, ancient beings of immense power who controlled the universe itself. Among them stood Cronus, a figure both feared and admired. He was not always a monster. In fact, he was once seen as a liberator because he dared to overthrow his own father, Uranus, the primordial sky god. With one brutal act, Cronus seized control of the cosmos and believed his reign would last forever. But power never comes without consequence. A prophecy began to spread, whispering through time like a curse. It foretold that Cronus would one day be overthrown by his own child, just as he had overthrown his father. From that moment, fear began to consume him. It wasn't fear of enemies or war, but fear of his own blood, his own future, and the inevitable fate he could not control. When his wife, Rhea, gave birth to their first child, Cronus made a horrifying decision. Without hesitation, he took the newborn and swallowed it whole. There was no mercy, no hesitation, only the desperate belief that he could escape destiny. One by one, his children were taken from the world. Hestia was swallowed, then Demeter disappeared into darkness, followed by Hera, then Hades, and finally Poseidon. Each time, Rhea watched in silent horror as her children were taken by the very one who was meant to protect them. Yet no matter how many children he devoured, Cronus found no peace. Fear does not disappear when you feed it. It only grows stronger, tightening its grip until it consumes everything. When Rhea became pregnant again, she knew she could not let the same fate repeat itself. This time, she chose to defy Cronus. When the child was born, she hid the baby in secret and wrapped a stone in cloth, presenting it to Cronus as if it were their newborn. Without suspicion, he swallowed it, believing he had once again outsmarted fate. But this time, he was wrong. The child who escaped was Zeus, and he grew up far from Cronus's reach, hidden and protected until the day he was strong enough to return. As Zeus matured, so did the truth of his destiny. He was not just a survivor, he was the one meant to end Cronus's reign. When the time finally came, Zeus returned, no longer a helpless child, but a powerful god ready to challenge the ruler of the Titans. Through cunning and strategy, he forced Cronus to undo the unthinkable. One by one, the children who had been swallowed were freed, emerging alive from the darkness they had been trapped in. They returned not as victims, but as gods filled with fury and purpose. What followed was a war that shook the very foundation of existence, a battle between the old world and the new, known as the Titanomachy. The clash between the Titans and the Olympians raged with unimaginable force, but in the end, Cronus fell. He was defeated not by strangers or distant enemies, but by his own children, the very fate he had tried so desperately to avoid. Cronus had believed that by destroying his children, he could escape destiny, but in doing so, he ensured that the prophecy would come true. The harder he tried to run from his fate, the closer he moved toward it. And in the end, the god who once ruled everything lost it all, not because of fate alone, but because of the fear that drove him to become a monster. And this